The following is a presentation of TFNN. It is now time for Living a Primal Lifestyle with your host, Nico de Hann. And now, here's Nico de Hann.
Hi, folks. This is Living a Primal Lifestyle with Nico de Hann. It's Friday, May 4th, 2012. Time to talk about your health, fitness, and diet. My call-in number here is 877-927-6648. International number is 727-445-1044. Also, please sign up for my new Health Signals Issue 9. Just coming across the stream right now, so pick that up. Of course, you can try it free for 30 days. You don't pay first 30 days, $10 after that, twice a month on the first and third Friday of the month. If you need to contact me, I'm Nico at TFNN.com. You can email me. Of course, our shows are archived on TFNN.com website, on iTunes, on LivingAPrimalLifestyle.com. That's where you'll see the videos for this. And we're streaming live on the internet, on Tiger TV, on the radio, and it's a beautiful day here in downtown Clearwater, Florida. Beautiful day. It's about 86 degrees, going up to 88. Notice humidity is a little bit higher now, so we're starting to get into that summer season here where it's going to be just a little bit warmer in the evenings, but still beautiful during the day, and everybody should be coming down to Florida to check out our weather, especially now that it's a lot... less people down here, so now you can drive around, not a traffic jam. Very nice to do that. So let's start off today. We have Jeff from Miami Beach on the line. Jeff, how you doing today?
Hi, Nico. Thank you for taking my call.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right. My question today is, how do you tell, what's a little trick to tell if an oil has gone rancid? I know that you're supposed to be able to smell it, and it's supposed to have a bad odor if it's rancid, but, my nose isn't all that great, and I've got, some oils and some lecithin stuff that's been around for well past the expiration date, and I just want to know if I should keep using it, or it's gone rancid.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's difficult to tell, especially the vegetable oils and some of the, even olive oil when it's heated can go rancid. Generally, if you don't heat these oils, they're not going to go rancid for you, and they have a pretty good shelf life of maybe 6 months to maybe a year or more, depending on what the temperature is in the house.
Yeah, but I keep my oils usually in like the lecithin that I supplement with. I keep in the refrigerator.
Yeah,
and it's beyond the expiration date by probably like a year or something, and I just know if I should still take it or throw it out.
Yeah, I'd go in smaller batches so you don't keep it around quite so long, but generally with lecithin, there's a little aftertaste. That you can feel. So if you're feeling an aftertaste, then I would probably get rid of it. But otherwise, that stuff does last a long time. If refrigerated, it lasts for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But your saturated oils, oil from fat and from animals and coconut oil, pretty much has a great shelf life after it's expelled, maybe a year or two. So.
Okay.
But generally, you get rancidity from oils that have been heated. That's the general rule. So you don't want to reuse these. A lot of restaurants use peanut oil. Once they've put it in the fryer for an hour or two, it starts going rancid, even at high heat. And, that's why you shouldn't be eating that stuff.
All right. Thank you very much, Nico.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it. Of course, I've got my bulletproof coffee here, and I know we've been talking about it on the net. I know Tom has been talking about it, and Steve. So just kind of want to go over there. It's called the Tiger Butter Brew is what we're calling it over here. So I think that's a good name for it. So I found this on a website, and I heard this guy talk about bulletproof coffee. And there's a couple of different websites that talk about bulletproof coffee. But basically what it is you're putting fat in the coffee. And if you've got good coffee to start with, organically grown coffee and a good dark blend to start with, you're going to have a good cup of coffee. And by putting butter in it or ghee, or even people use coconut oil, different kind of oil can work with it. And the recipe is basically 2 or 3 ounces per cup of coffee. I would say more of a mug of coffee, not like these little teetotalers coffee, but a nice mug, a medium-sized mug of coffee, 2 or 3 ounces. When I use ghee, I use a little bit less. Of course, ghee is the oil of the butter. And the way they do that is through a heating process where they heat the butter up at a low temperature, and what rises to the top is the ghee or the clarified butter, and that's all the real good oils that are in there. And the stuff that people are most allergic to in butter is the cow stuff, and that those solids, those milk solids, go to the bottom, and those aren't used in ghee. But you can use either one. If you don't have a problem with butter, you get some organic, I would say grass-fed butter is the best. If you go to the Irish butter, generally that's a real good source too. You can go for ghee. I would get that from a real good source too, like an Indians, American Indian column. People have those things. They use those for many, many years. So you put that in the coffee, blend it together if you want to. Here at the studio, we've got a little 4-cupper that we use, and you can put the butter right in there and just let it set for a while, and that butter will melt, and it tastes real nice. More creamy. You can use a little sugar in it if you want to, and I would use like a raw sugar with that, raw cane sugar. The thing about this is you're going to find the consistency is real nice. It's going to taste very good, and it's going to stay with you more. It'll give you a nice lift that coffee does. It'll stay with you a lot more. You're not going to get hungry, and very, very satisfying. So how much into the pot? I think my producer was asking me, and I would say per cup of coffee, you want to put 2 tablespoons of butter. Maybe 1 tablespoon of ghee. In a little shot of espresso, I use 1 tablespoon of grass-fed butter. That's in a little espresso. So a regular cup of coffee, 2 or 3. And you kind of adjust it to what you think you need. You have to experiment this stuff yourself. But it does taste very good, as I can attest to here. Now, one of the things I'd like to talk to about the show is the importance of eating seasonally. And there's a lot of reasons why. And I found this article at Natural News. I'll just read it to you. Imagine a vegetable garden in the dead of winter. Then imagine that same garden on a sunny, warm summer afternoon. Part of the beauty of nature's bounties comes from how vastly different they are during the various seasons of the years. The seasons are a source of natural diversity, and this is why changes in growing conditions from summer to winter or fall to winter are considered essential for balance for both the Earth's resources and its life forms, us, of course. Once upon a time, people ate certain foods only when they were readily available, accessible, and only in season. These days, however, it's extremely easy for us to forget about the different kinds of foods that we get and that are available around, year-round. Grocery store shelves look the exact same in December as they do in mid-July. And that seems to be true here. Just because the technology makes it possible for us to have oranges in winter, however, doesn't mean we should be eating all these foods whenever we please. The disadvantages of living in a technology-advanced period when modern-day food practices have revealed themselves among us in a form of an increasingly number of food intolerances and allergies, higher levels of obesity, and modern chronic diseases like type 2 diabetes, and much more. So our modern times has really given us a lot of these things. I notice a lot of people around me have allergies and colds all the time. According to many scientists, researchers, and natural health experts, eating the right kinds of foods during the right times of years and avoiding them otherwise is crucial to a healthy lifestyle. Seasonal foods are a great way of reconnecting with the organic cycle that nature intended for us. And there's research supporting this. In 1967, there was a research done at the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries and Food in London, England, and found that the nutrient content of milk in summer versus winter is different. Iodine content was higher in winter. Beta-carotene was higher in the summer. The ministry discovered that these differences in milk composition was primarily due to the difference in the diets of the cows, with more salt-preserved foods in winter and more fresh plants in the summer. Cows ended up producing nutritionally different milks during the 2 seasons. Even in Japan, they found differences in vitamin C just from spinach in the summer version versus the winter version. So what are the benefits, of eating seasonally? Better nutritional content and overall health. Most grocery stores and chain foods jazz up their fruits and vegetables and make them look attractive and inviting. This naturally compromises the nutritional level of the food. Non-seasonal food requires bending of nature's rules in order for them to survive in the improper season. They use waxes, preservatives, all kinds of things. So by eating naturally harvested food, you will be rotating your foods, thereby keeping your body from developing intolerances to certain foods. So in other words, if we're going to be eating all our food the same way all the time, we're going to build up not the tolerances. We're going to actually get allergic to these foods because they're going to be always the same. So when we eat seasonally, our immune system gets much more in tune with it. We're using different foods, different nutritions at different times of the year. It boosts our immune system. We're much more natural to what's going on out in in nature and around us, and we're able to build up tolerances a lot better. It's much more sustainable, of course, for the for environment and for agriculture itself, because now you're rotating crops. You're not trying to grow strawberries all year round like we do here in Florida a lot of times. And economical benefits, it saves the earth. In other words, it doesn't cost the earth to produce seasonal foods because you're not doing it artificially. So if you start doing things artificially to the earth, then you're going to have to use artificial things to sustain this. And that doesn't go very far, because sooner or later the earth does get exhausted and it needs to be replenished. So then you have to leave it alone for a couple of years. Our ancestors ate seasonal food because they didn't have much choice. We, on the other hand, can make informed and educated choices for opting to eat only those foods that are grown seasonally. Coordinating our diets with the cycles of the seasons naturally cleanses us and builds health for our body. And there's information you can get out from this and just Google how to eat seasonally for optimal health. And you'll find information on that. The other thing is you're going to find a lot of information on my new Health Signals newsletter, which I have out right now. Let me just dig it up here. And I've got it packed full of great things. Interesting article here, first off, is did people eat fruits and vegetables in prehistoric times? We need to know these things because we're eating them today. A lot of recalls, the FDA, through the last year, and most of them have been in vaccines. So I've got an article on that and what you should be avoiding in vaccines, and a great video to go along with it. An article about how fasting helps protect us against brain diseases. And, of course, this makes sense because as our ancestors went through different periods of time where they had no food, then they would naturally have this cleansing property take place because it was a natural thing for them. However, we can get the same benefit by just not eating for a day or two here and there. And there's a great article that talks just about that. Folks, you can call me here. I have open lines right now. It's 877-927-6648. International number is 727-445-1044. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I've got a new one out right now, so go check it out, please. I'll be right back.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of the money game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. And it's Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. We're talking about, of course, our Tiger Brew, our Tiger Butter Brew, or Bulletproof Coffee. And noticed on the chat room they were talking about using bacon grease. No, I don't think so. Shot of Bailey's. I don't really go for those sweet kind of drinks, but they do taste good. Not American Indian, Asian India stores for ghee. Actually, for both. They do definitely have them Indian stores, but also American Indian. There's a couple of companies that make it. And Alan says, hi there, how you doing? Reading a new book. I'm going to check that out, Alan, for you. The other things, I'm looking on the web here, and I'm looking at other recipes. Here's the Dreamwave version. 1 or 2 tablespoons of organic Saigon cinnamon. 1 or 2 tablespoons of organic virgin coconut oil. 1 tablespoon of grass-fed whole milk. 1 tablespoon of grass-fed raw cream. 1 tablespoon of raw butter. And then about 500 to 600 milligrams of the coffee beans, and use it in a grinder. Use a little organic chocolate syrup and some MCT oil. MCT oil, medium chain triglycerides. That's the oil that comes from ghee or butter. And so there's lots of different versions. You can experiment yourself. The important thing is getting the yeah, ouzo. Yeah, that would be good. Getting the fat in there. Getting the fat in there so you start burning fat, and this coffee is going to help you to burn fat. Of course, it gives you a nice lift, too. So Anyway, that's enough about that. Another thing I want to mention, too, is I've got an article here that was in Science Daily, and talking about more studies that are finding that interval training burns much more fat than and increases your fitness much better than the sustained aerobic exercise that we've all learned to hate over the years and going for runs, although I really did enjoy my 6 or 10 mile runs when I used to run quite a bit. Now I end up mostly doing sprints. But interval training is where you have short bursts of intensive effort interspersed in between rests. And those intervals can be very short, as little as 20 seconds of all-out bursts of speeds. And anybody can do that because everybody has their own perception of what all-out is. I mean, if you can only, run from here to the door in 20 seconds, and that's all you're able to do, that's your line right there. So, anybody can do this, and you can do this in simple exercises. Kettlebells is one of those great type of workouts. You just grab a piece of weight and start swinging it around. Of course, you have to learn how to do it properly, so you need to be instructed by a professional. But there are lots of things that you can do, and we have so much information. Of course, one the ways to get the information is with my Health Signals newsletter, because this month I've got some great exercises in there that anybody can do, and there's maybe a half a dozen in there that you can just do standing in place, and it's the last few pages of my newsletter, and it's got a workout there as well as a warm-up. So, you need to check these things out. But intensive exercise is really the way to go. You're only working out for 20 or 30 minutes maximum, and the intense part is only a few minutes. So just think of it, if you do a 20-second all-out burst of whether it's just squats or a little jog, or you're lifting something heavy, and then rest for 2 minutes. Then even a 20-minute workout you're going to have a very short time of doing the intense part. But you gain so much from this. And this is a much more natural way, if you think about, our ancestors being raised in the woods and looking out for things to eat and looking out for being eaten. You're going to have these short bursts where you're going to go run after things, and you don't have to be running 5 miles to catch an ostrich. It's you wouldn't be doing that. It doesn't make much sense unless, of course, you're desperate. So anyway, it's a great article that I read here, and it's just another one of the many things that they're finding out that this stuff that I'm talking about here is great for you. So check out interval training. Check out using different objects and different things. And if you take a look at my Health Signals newsletter, you'll find a few things that you can use with very simple exercises, and for a short duration you'll get the workout that you need, and you'll find you don't have to work quite as hard. This whole notion that we have to work hours and hours to lose weight and to get our body in shape is just not true. Our body pretty much takes care of itself as long as you do the sensible thing. Another sensible thing you can do is, of course, give me a call on Living a Primal Lifestyle here. Right now we have open lines, and our number here is 877-927-6648. Our international number is 727-445-1044, and you need to check out my Health Signals newsletter, so please go to the website, TFNN.com, check out the newsletters, and check out Health Signals. And I have a sample there for you, and of course, you can get that twice a month. So I'll be back in a couple minutes, folks. Stick around.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when temporary market spikes move against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped, and you have the advantage of keeping your trades open even when the market temporarily spikes against you. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique short-term binary options that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's nadex.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to TFNN.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. This is Nico on TFNN.com, Living a Primal Lifestyle. And, our show is about health, fitness, and diet. And, we're really checking out, talking about sustainability and talking about eating, with the seasons. And we're really kind of in a fantasy world here in our modern age. Things are just, with healthcare, with exercise, with diet, we're just getting so much wrong information. And this really started, 50 to 100 years ago, entrenched in our society when they told us to this big scare with the fat, which is all wrong. It's just they introduced a lot of fats that made it real economical for them to sell us this stuff and keep it on the shelf for years. And like we wouldn't notice there's something wrong with us. It certainly seems to be something wrong with us. Even our natural surroundings, instead of being under the stars, we're under the lights. Our whole system is artificial. And I don't know. Why do we need so many street lights out? It's like this whole homeland security thing, trying to make us safe. The world isn't safe. We need to know how to handle ourselves in this wild world. We have so many different things to watch out for in this world. So we need to hone our skills and not to be afraid of it, and not to need other people's protection. We need to protect ourselves. Anyway, I have a phone call right now from Dan from Chicago, and we're going to talk about best foods to eat before competing. Hi, Dan. How's it going?
Hi, Nico. Great. Thank you for taking my call.
What kind of competition are you doing?
Basketball.
Oh, cool. So what's your what do you usually do before a game?
I'm a little bit confused. Sometimes I would take I would eat oatmeal. Other times maybe like sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Then I tried eating more fats. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused, because it seems like I'm in very good shape, but it just seems that I lose energy.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, it all comes really down to your everyday diet. It doesn't really matter so much what you eat the day before or that. I know there's been a lot of information for the last couple of decades about carb loading before strenuous exercise, which basketball certainly is one of the most strenuous. You need these big bursts of speed. You need to be out there running around for a long time. So you need that energy. And the best energy I can think of is from fat burning, because that's what's going to be sustained. If you rely yourself on carbohydrates beforehand, then you're going to have a false bottom, so to speak. You'll have energy, and all of a sudden it'll leave you. And you always have to be wondering, did I eat right or didn't I? But if you're actually eating a primal-type diet where you're being on a fat-burning regime on a continuous basis, then it really doesn't matter what you eat before. Okay. I've gone to jiu-jitsu and not eaten. I take a protein shake sometimes before I go. Sometimes I take a half a shake. Sometimes I eat a full meal an hour or two before. It doesn't really seem to matter. What matters is that I have that sustained energy, and that's what I'm looking for.
Great. Okay.
Okay. So are you eating more of a primal type diet now?
I'm getting into more of that. You would say so. And it seems like it's helping a little bit more. So yeah, I would, it's hard though. It's hard, just to change my eating habits that I've had throughout the whole year,
Sure.
years.
Yeah.
And then, being told or someone saying that, I just got to tweak it a different way or change it. And it's, some kind of easing into that.
Yeah. Well, the guys that I talk to in my dojo that are really, doing hard work in the dojo, and that's just like basketball is. You're out there on the court or whether you're out on the mat and you're going full tilt. You need that energy. And the guys that I've steered to the primal type diet are saying the same things. They're all saying my energy is much higher. I can do a lot more in the gym. When I come in here, I don't get such exhausted. And that's what happens to me. I can wrestle around with 30-year-old guys, and me being 67 years old, I can still keep up with them. And what I have in my head is that I'm going to outlast them, because I'm never going to be as strong as they are. Mm-hmm. So I need to outlast them in the same way in the court. If you want to outlast your opponent and be out there more, you're going to have that energy, and you get it from fat. So start your meals, base it around a small amount of protein, and make sure you add your fat into it. Of course, good, healthy fat. And one way is we talk about the bulletproof coffee. That's certainly one way of adding it in there. But you can add it into, if you have coconut butter, you can put that on your vegetables. If you're eating grass-fed beef or a good pastured chickens, it's already in there.
Okay.
What you need to do is take out the stuff that's robbing you from energy, and that would be your carbohydrates, especially your processed ones like your pastas and your breads and things like that. But if you're eating vegetables alongside it, fine. But that's not. You don't have to rely on that. Rely on the protein, on the fat. And do your own research. Do research on athletes on the primal diet or paleo diet, and you'll find a lot of information on the web. This is where I get my information mostly, and talking to people who are in my field.
Great. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Nico.
Okay. You're welcome, Dan.
Great show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, the fat is the key again. Now, we get our protein from many sources, and one of the things that you have to know is that when we're talking seasonally, we're talking about all this food that is being introduced and told by our experts, so-called experts, the Food and Drug Administration, the people who are telling you that from the Diabetes Association, this is where you have to eat your whole grains. Well, these are all seasonal types. Just think of any kind of seeds, whether they're seeds or nuts. They have things in them, and I've got an article in here, in fact, a great one. And this was another reason why you shouldn't go nuts on nuts. And this is really because of a thing called phytic acid. And phytic acid is the protective mechanism in these seeds or nuts that protect it from being eaten by a lot of predators. And they basically make the seeds go into kind of a hibernation. But they're very toxic for us, and cows and animals like that can digest it because they have 3 stomachs, not 6 stomachs, but 3 stomachs, and they can digest it. Human beings cannot digest this food very good, and that's why we don't eat a lot of nuts. We can eat them. But that phytic acid, if we have too much phytic acid, it really interrupts our digestive system and our immune system. And this is why the basic thing like grains are not good, because if we eat a few nuts, not too bad. You get a little phytic acid. We can deal with that. But now imagine having this as a staple. In other words, you start grinding up all the nuts and all the seeds and all these things that we're doing, and now we're going to make bread out of them, we're going to make pasta out of them, and we're going to make this most of our meal. Well, now you can see that acid, that instead of just a handful of nuts that you might get a few times a year, now you're using it every single day. And, a good scientist knows that every substance on Earth has a toxicity level. And nuts and seeds just have a high toxicity level. So we shouldn't be eating them a lot. Even arsenic can be taken at a real low dosage. It's not going to hurt us. We up that dosage, and it does hurt us. So you have to kind of look at food from this aspect. So your foods that are seasonal foods, that are fresh foods, are naturally, you can eat them anytime that you see them. But we have to keep in mind these days that they have to be seasonal, because now we have avocados from, and as much as I like avocados, we've got them year-round from California coming in because they grow them all the time. And that goes with strawberries, it goes with everything. So I think you're just better off if you eat them that way. So why is phytic acid bad for you? So let me just read this. Phytic acid is a storage form of phosphorus found in many plants, especially in bran or hull of grains and in seeds and nuts. Although herbivores like cows, sheep can digest phytic acid, human beings can't. This is bad news because phytic acid strongly inhibits mineral consumption in adults, especially iron and zinc. Studies suggest that we absorb approximately 20% more zinc and 60% more magnesium from our food when phytic acid is absent. Very important. One of the biggest problems we have is a mineral deficiency in people, and also our bones are getting weaker, both in men and women. Phytic acid interferes with enzymes we need to digest our food, including pepsin, which is needed for the breakdown of proteins in our stomach. And this substance is part of the starches. The phytic acid also inhibits different things in the small intestines. Okay, so what you should do is make sure that, of course, we pretty much outlaw in the primal diet any kinds of grains. Those are the grass seeds. But when it comes to things like Brazil nuts and even cocoa powder and oat leaves and almonds and walnuts and peanuts, of course, aren't recommended. These things are all high in phytic acid. It says here that we need about maybe 400 megagrams of phytic acid is enough on a daily basis. Well, a handful of Brazil nuts has 1,700. Almonds have between 1,200 and 1,400. Roasted peanuts have 1,000. Brown rice has 1,000. Hazelnuts have 1,000. Yams have 700. Refried beans 600. Corn tortillas 500. Coconuts 400. Corn has 400. All different kinds of flour has 200 or 300. So very easy to eat a small amount of this stuff and go over the limit. Therefore, we don't recommend. And yes, and somebody on the chat line, John, just said, I thought nuts are good. Of course, in small quantities. Again, not as a staple. Okay. Our staple really are our proteins, our meats, our fish. These are staples. Another staple would be our fats. Remember that proteins and fats required for life. Carbohydrates, not required at all for life. So even though there's proteins in nuts, the proteins is very hard to digest for us. So this phytic acid does interfere with our digestive system. So we can have these things. We just got to be easy on them. Just think if you're going to go gathering a few nuts, you can go gather a few nuts. A lot of work involved in it. So you're better off chasing a little animal around, getting the animal, going hunting, go to the grocery store, pick up yourself a little meat or chicken or pork or fish, fresh fish. You can't beat it. Okay. Some of the things that, of course, our ancestors did, being very, very bright, is how did they get rid of the phytic acid? And here we have a few things. Native Americans prepared things which they used for oil. One particular one was the hickory nut. And what they did to extract the oil is they cracked these nuts into pieces and then pounded them until they were as fine as coffee grounds. Then they would put them into boiling water, boil them for an hour or longer until they were cooked down to a kind of soup from which the oil was strained out through a cloth. The rest was thrown away. Indians of California consumed acorn meal, and they did this by pounding them and soaking them. Nuts and seeds in Central America were prepared by salt water soaking in dehydration in the sun, after which they were ground and cooked. So there's a lot of things that you can do, is soaking them, and that's one of the things in our fast food industry. None of this stuff is being done. They're going to throw this stuff at you, and you've got it right away. So just go easy on these things. You're going to notice if you stay away from this stuff and eat just a little bit amount, you're going to find your overall health is going to improve immensely, and your mineral absorption is going to be much better. So let's see, what else does it say on here? Again, they get soaking nuts, soaking different flours, and people did this for a long time. So, one of the problems we have is people are trying to look for substitutes in the paleo community for breads and pastas and things like that. They just want to continue the type of eating that they did, only with different ingredients. And what comes up is the almond flour and coconut flour and all these different types of flours. Well, again, the problem is the phytic acid in all of these. So you have to use it. When you're talking about the fat, it's a different thing. It doesn't have the phytic acid in it because it's already strained out. But when it comes to using it as a meal, as a flour, then that problem still exists in there. So, my solution is that I don't need any more bread. I don't need a cupcake or something that looks like a cupcake to make me eat it. I'm fine with eating meat, with meat and fish and poultry and substituting my fat. In fact, now I get excited. How am I going to get my fat today? Is it going to be in butter? Is it going to be in coconut butter? Is it going to be a more fatty meat like a prime rib or a ribeye or something that already has a good fat in it? So that's the way I look at it now. So pasta, if I never eat any more pasta, it's not going to faze me one bit. So that's the way I look at it, folks. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I got a new issue going out today, so you can check that out. And I got a lot of great articles in there today, which I did mention. Also, some great stories about coconut oil. Got about a half dozen in here and some videos with it. So check it out for me. And one more chance to give me a call at 877-927-6648. I'll be back for the last segment.
What you think about, you bring about. What you focus on grows. If you're committed to becoming an extraordinary trader and investor, then make mastery your outcome. Yes, my best student, Steve Rhodes, became my best teacher. But even more important is what he's taught me, and the time is now for you to take advantage of his knowledge.
Thanks, Tom. I've learned that it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently. I want to teach you the consistency that exists in the stock, futures, forex, and commodity markets day in, day out. For one solid day, Friday, May 18th, I'm going to conduct an online master trader course that'll teach you how to buy and sell the D point. This one pattern alone, with the single best entry and exit technique, weeks, when combined with my money management strategies, will create extraordinary rewards for you and your family. The course will be archived so you can review it as many times as you'd like, and it'll teach you to become a master. All the details are on the homepage at TFNN.com. Sign up today because mastery is one click away. It's your decisions, not your conditions, that determine your destiny.
Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume and the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to TFNN.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Welcome back to the show, folks. It's Nico on Living a Primal Lifestyle. I'd like to remind you that I'm going to be speaking at Nature's Food Patch in Clearwater, Florida, for a free seminar. That's Thursday, June 7th. The seminar will be called Living a Primal Lifestyle, and I'm going to really discussing why diet can help you both mentally, physically, and spiritually, and environmentally to be more in tune with your surroundings and to really increase the passion in your life. You get a real passion for what you're doing, so that's what I'm all about. One of the things I've been taking to at night, and that's some raw honey. And a teaspoon or two of honey before bedtime ensures restorative sleep. I found this in a book called The Incomparable Honeybee and the Economics of Pollination. A human liver stores about 8 hours of glycogen, an important brain food. If you eat supper at 7 o'clock, by 3 a.m., your brain releases a stress hormone called cortisol. Elevated cortisol can lead to obesity, diabetes, coronary disease, and autoimmune breakdown. A teaspoon of honey at night fuels the liver with glucose and fructose, which is absorbed slowly, thus producing a restful sleep and preventing the release of cortisol. Honey is a sedative, antifungal, and it's nourishing as well. Honey soothes tissues and helps retain calcium in the body. Natural honey is also antibacterial and boosts the immune system. You can use honey in herbal teas, mix it into a warm milk, grass-fed from grass-fed cows, of course. A delicious, relaxing drink that you can take care of with warm milk and use it to help sleep. Does it make you gain weight? Well, no, it doesn't, because eating a teaspoon or two of honey at bedtime can improve sleep quality without causing weight gain. And based on cumulative results of prior studies, we know that it actually does this. Another way of eating honey at bedtime, way is it promotes restful sleep through glycogen storage. A 2006 study said that we are more wakeful when our stomachs are empty. Thus, eating small portions of food at bedtime may actually promote sleep. And the body stores ready-to-use energy as glycogen in the liver. Because honey contains an ideal 1-to-1 ratio of fructose and glucose, it is the best food available for glycogen storage. Sufficient glycogen storage is needed for a restful sleep. When your liver runs out of glycogen at night, the brain starts to trigger stress hormones such as cortisol and adrenaline to convert protein muscle into glucose. The result, you wake up and start counting sheep. The remedy, eat 1 or 2 tablespoons of honey at bedtime, promoting a higher quality of sleep provided by the liver fuel. Unlike sugary food, eating honey raises your blood sugar level only slightly. It causes a continual increase in insulin, a controlled increase in insulin, which causes amino acid tryptophan, which honey also contains, to enter the brain. In your brain, tryptophan is converted into the hormone serotonin, which promotes relaxation. In darkness, serotonin is converted into melatonin in the pineal gland. Melatonin, as everybody knows, is a natural cure for sleeping disorder. It is widely used for treating insomnia symptoms for elderly and depressed patients. Also enhances the quality of restorative sleep. So don't count sheep. Try something sweet. Try honey. I use it. It does work for me. I've used other things like melatonin or just not going to jiu-jitsu as often, but I think the honey is working fine for me. So that's pretty much our show for today, folks. Thanks a lot for sticking around. Please pick up my Health Signals newsletter. I've got a new issue out there for the next 2 weeks, so please check it out. A lot of great information in there, which I'll be discussing on the show also. You can email me at nico@tfnn.com. Everybody have a great weekend. Experiment with that bulletproof coffee, please, and let me know what you think. And there's lots of different versions, so you got a lot of things to do this weekend. So have a great one.